right?
Welcome. It's Tuesday, February the 4th, 9 p.m. in the DMV.
And 6 p.m. here in Los Angeles. I'm Jack Armstrong.
I'm Sam Giacinto, and you're listening to Tech Talk Live. Welcome to the show. Chat or call in your questions on X at Tech Talk Live, or Twitter, as they used to say.
Used to call it. Yeah.
In fact, let me fire up the XComs here.
Yeah, let's make sure we're online, we're good, we're ready. Well, lots to talk about, a few interesting things today. So Helia Mobile. So you can now get a free cell phone plan. You heard that right. That's not a typo. We're not misspeaking. A free phone plan. I mean, they're doing something radical to really drive adoption of this technology, which is really, I think, a good strategy.
Well, it's a bold one, and honestly, I'm cautiously optimistic. It's again supposedly $0 a month. It's not an introductory rate. It's not a contract. So what's the catch, right? You get 3 gigabytes of data, limited, 100 minutes of voice, and 300 texts. But it's free.
It's still free. Exactly. And then so they have another plan. So they've got 3 plans. The free plan, you get started. Those are the limits. You can upgrade to the Air plan. That was the 0 plan. The Air plan is 10 gigabytes of data and unlimited talk and text, which is great. And then, of course, the Infinity plan, which is the highest plan, is $30 a month now. And yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people, they claim that 85% of Americans would be good with the Air plan that's 10 gigabytes of data. So that shows you that, I guess, 85% of people use 10 gigabytes or less. And of course, there's no contracts. And something really cool, as we talk about a lot, is they're going to be switching to a cloud points, cloud reward system. So right now you're earning tokens. You're still basically earning tokens. However, they're allowing you to, coming soon, redeem those for gift cards, essentially. I guess partners, and so they on their website hellohelium.com you can see Uber, Airbnb, Lyft, Nike, Etsy, LL Bean, Expedia, Delta Airlines. So lots of perks, ways to redeem as a thank you for helping to build the network, as a thank you for being a customer, so they can help know where to incentivize coverage to be built. I mean, free phone service. I mean, I think that's good for a lot of people. If you're a homebody, like 3 gigabytes a month, like you're still able to go out. You're still able to have some data, when you need it. And, if you don't talk a lot, or you talk on FaceTime, or you're on Wi-Fi a lot, like an hour and 40 minutes a month, of talk time on the actual phone through your network, I think it's cool. I mean, so now there's actually a free phone service. It's pretty cool.
Well, I'm noticing something interesting here, right? So we have the 0 plan, right? 3 gigabytes of data, 100 minutes of voice, 300 texts for $0. We have the Air plan with 10 gigabytes of data, unlimited texts and calls. And then we have the Infinity plan for $30 a month with unlimited data, unlimited voice, and unlimited text. So something just a little subtle. The Infinity plan is a $10 price increase over the previous $20 a month Helium unlimited plan. Am I wrong?
Yes. Yeah, that's correct. So
interesting is all I have to say.
So keep in mind, I don't know for sure, but if I had to guess, they probably didn't have the demand at $20. Again, $5 at launch 2 years ago.
Supposedly
too cheap. be true. This doesn't make sense, you know? And so, but people that were in Miami or people that were invited at the $5 rate, of course, are grandfathered in. And then $20 a month, the nationwide launch. I mean, it's a good deal. But again, it's still, even Mint Mobile is like averages 25 after the first couple months of the, initial discount. So I think a lot of people thought it was too good to be true. So 30 is still a great deal because keep in mind AT&T, Verizon, and T-Mobile are all are increasing prices every year. I mean, you'd have to look up current rates, but I guarantee it's gone up $5, $10 in the last couple of years. So yeah, $30 unlimited infinity plan. I mean, that's a really good deal. Of course, you're eligible, but I do think an interesting thing is you're eligible for rewards on all plans, even the free plan. So you can sign up, get cloud rewards. Yeah, pretty cool. I mean, again, a free phone service. Like, think about how useful that is going to be to so many people. And yeah, you can switch. I mean, if you're under the, those limits, you can switch your phone provider.
I hate to be the cynical one all the time, but I'm curious because all Helium customers currently have an unlimited plan. And I'm here checking out my usage here.
Yeah, so nothing's changing. Obviously, if you already have the $20 plan, you're locked in. Lucky you. You're an early adopter. You save $10 compared to the new $30 plan. But yeah, going forward, it's very interesting. I mean, they're clearly rewarding early adopters, which I think is great. And yeah, they're really out to challenge the big telcos, as they always say, break free from the big carriers with a free plan. I mean, it's great. It's a great entry point. There's no credit card required, so you can really just get started, as a second number, or just transfer your number. I think a lot of people are skeptical, so I do think that this will really help with adoption. And yeah, I mean, I think it's great.
So another thing to, kind of question, sort of, I guess, the average cost for an extra gigabyte of data. That's another just, again, heavy asterisk here. We're looking at $7.50 per additional gigabyte for the 0 and Air plans, which
that is
above the average,
Yeah.
And again, hate to be cynical, but it's just I'm curious as to how these pricing tweaks kind of compare. I'm curious.
But it doesn't automatically charge you. The customer has to purchase an additional gigabyte or overage. It's not just going to charge you, oh hey, you used more than 3. I mean, that's not their plan. So I mean, it's free, and then
Okay, I take back a little bit of that just because that's the current price. So it's 750 gigabyte currently. And another kind of curious point is that you get 28 gigabytes of unlimited data before the throttling kicks in. So we are looking at, relatively, from 28 to 36, that's going to be 8 more gigabytes of data, so roughly 20 to 30% more data for 50% more costs. So this isn't all just it is slightly more for you, the consumer. But you do hypothetically get more for your money. So it's not all just a price increase. So, 8 more gigabytes of high-speed data for $10 more per month than the existing plan. And a similar cost for additional data that's purchased as well. So perhaps a subtler tweak than I may have implied earlier, but I think a big selling point for all of this is the free plan. So it's hard to get past that, right? It's free. you know. So there's a lot of positive media coverage that would come from that. I mean, we're talking about it, right? So that's
Oh
why
yeah.
I like
Well,
examining the fine print on kind of all those things.
I mean, it's a great offering. I mean, again, no cost. You don't even need you don't need a credit card. It's free forever to sign up for. And you do need an invite code though, and we have one to share with our listeners. So if anybody is listening and would like an invite, because Helia Mobile is back to invite only at the moment currently. So if anyone would like, Sam, do you got the code pulled up? Yeah, we can still.
For
So yeah, so they would have to download the app. It says, yeah, so got your invite code, install the app. So if someone installs the Helia mobile app and enters this code, they should be able to select a plan, and they'll have an invite from one of us. Do you got that code?
I do. I don't know what it gives other people, so I'm hesitant to
No, Sam, it's the invite code to. We believe it invites you to the app. Yeah, because again, that's how it's been. When you share to refer a friend, you refer them, they skip the wait list, and they are able to access the by from their friend.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, so for you, the consumer, okay, the benefit of this referral code is that you will instantly be able to take advantage of this. Okay.
Yes,
I'm
and you
always
don't have to
hesitant.
wait. Yeah,
But
yeah, because
yeah,
right now the only way for them to sign up is with an existing user's code. So
well,
they're just
shoot,
limiting
you
it.
know,
They want the masses to sign up. They want. I mean, look, it's not that hard to find codes online or through podcasts or YouTube videos or Reddit. But anyway, we've got a code for anybody that'd like to sign up.
yeah, shoot. I mean, the number 0, the letter V is in Victor, Q is in quail, Y is in yellow, I is in Inca, G is in George, I is in Inca. So if you
So
want
yeah,
to try it, go for it. I'm not one for plugging myself, but if you want to skip the line, there you go.
yeah.
So
I
yeah,
mean,
give it
this
a
is
shot. I mean, it's supposedly free.
it's free.
Let us know if
Free
it
to-
isn't. I mean, I'm always
yeah.
curious. Trust but
Oh,
verify,
for sure.
right?
Yeah. I mean,
Um,
yeah, let us know. Tweet the show. We've been following Helium for a long time. Anyone that
yeah,
listens to us knows.
we've been talking about this for a while. Honestly, I want to. I know that it. Honestly, maybe almost a year ago. I'm looking back at our older episodes.
Well, they
We
launched,
don't
yeah,
even
they
have.
even before that. Oh
But
yeah.
yeah, no, we really we've been talking about it a while, and it's still here. So it's. I mean, that's
Yeah.
look, anything crypto related that still exists after a year deserves praise. And
Yes.
praise is due.
Absolutely.
Even for a skeptic, right?
Absolutely.
So
Oh yeah. No, it's look, they're doing Helium, they're doing new things that have not been done before. I mean, people building a network in addition to T-Mobile coverage, and then rewarding those hotspot owners that put up, coverage in their neighborhoods. I mean, again, like nobody's done this before, and of course, it's on the blockchain. It's incentivized by a crypto token, and I mean that really just facilitates the adoption a little bit faster than because everybody's got a little stake in it, I guess you could say. And yeah, I mean it's a really great service and great system. So anyway, check it out. That's the code, and yeah, got other news as well. So very interesting what's happening with OpenAI's O3. Some new developments from obviously DeepSeek stole the show last week, and then of course
oh
lots of
geez,
infrastructure as
no,
well
so
this week. So yeah,
I'm just
O3.
I'm chuckling a little bit because if you don't follow this guy, please do. Again, I don't rarely plug things, but it's quite interesting. It's at Elder Plinius. He is a kind of AI researcher slash hacker slash Twitter aficionado. who likes to jailbreak AIs in terms of getting them to essentially operate outside of their bounds. And I guess he just broke OpenAI's O3 model with the classic DMT recipe. That's kind of one of his classics. Sort of getting it to output sort of illegal or otherwise filtered things, which is a very interesting subsection of AI research. But not to derail it, but that's why I was laughing earlier, is because we have to talk about it. I mean, OpenAI's new model, O3 Mini. Yeah, I mean, it's a supposedly complex, cost-efficient model that kind of produces more or less PhD level research. That's what they claim. We'll have to see this in action, really, to almost see what it does.
Yeah, so broader reasoning, broader general knowledge, and higher rate limits. Obviously, it's a mini model, so the obviously the access there is typically lower cost, but that doesn't mean it compromises on quality. It does seem like it has scored highly on the research benchmarks. I don't know if you saw the benchmarks that 26.6% of the time it passed. That's the accuracy rate for the SATs. So anyway, there's that. And then, yeah, I mean, it seems like they've been optimizing it for STEM reasoning. So coding, science, math, more accurate. And they're preferring O3's responses for that accuracy and speed, which is important. So yeah, really cool to see these models, getting out there and thinking, I guess, on their own is kind of, I guess, a good way to think about reasoning. Would you describe it in a different way, Sam? Do you think I'm doing a good job explaining that when a reasoning like the R1 model from DeepSeek, right, or O1?
No, I mean, I think you're explaining it perfectly well. I mean, obviously, the big challenge here is that we don't really have really as comprehensive as a look into, sort of how they train the model. At least from OpenAI, they essentially, basically describe it in very vague and kind of high level terms. You have O3 mini low, O3 mini medium, O3 level high, to essentially kind of tweak how hard it quote thinks. So essentially you're able to, I guess, get it to try harder, maybe. I don't know. Let's see. I'm going to sign into my Chat GPT account, and I don't know. We can ask it a question.
So yeah, I mean, it's interesting to compare.
So O3 mini high. Let's
so many levels.
Let's do it. I don't know.
Yes.
Do you have a good question for it? Should we?
Let's think. So let's think of a science-related topic. Let's think of well, I mean, do we want to do an equation, or do we want to do like something philosophical?
I think it probably solve an equation too quickly.
Okay.
Well, we can. Like, where will the world be in 50 years? How's that?
Is that sciencey? Is that science?
I mean, it's more of a philosophical question than a science one. I guess we almost kind of know, I guess, where we're headed.
I don't an idea. Here's one.
Yeah,
So let's
yeah.
think of dark matter. Let's ask it if dark matter doesn't interact with light or other radiation. How do scientists detect its presence and infer its properties? So if dark matter doesn't interact with light or other electromagnetic radiation, how do scientists detect its presence and infer its properties? So this reasoning model, yeah, let's see there. Do we want to compare it with? Are we comparing side by side with anything else?
Well, honestly, we'll compare it with 4.0.
Okay.
And I mean, I can, obviously I can't read the responses, or I mean, I guess we really should, if we're going to be on video jack, we really should have the capability to share our screen and really just kind of
Yeah,
like
you can. You can share the screen. Do you see the share
walk
button?
through, hope I don't share anything.
Yeah, let's share it. Whenever you're ready, you can do so. So yeah, anybody
Screen
who's
sharing works
watching, yeah.
best on powerful computers. I understand.
Well, so yeah, a little show announcement for anybody who's audio only. We are now on video. So if you go to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/@tech.talk.live.show, or that's our username. That's our channel name. Tech Talk Live, we're now video. So come see us. We sometimes will be sharing our screen, maybe if we're doing comparisons or have something interesting that visually we want to show our listeners. So yeah, I mean, it's just a more complete experience if you would like to consume the content this way. So we're going to share the screen here. Here we go.
All right, so
All
here
right.
we are using O3 Mini High. We kind of pondered our question. So I'll minimize the reasoning, but we can take a look at it before our response. So does dark matter really interact with light or other radiation? How do scientists detect it and infer its properties? And also, that should not be there. So aside from the AI, tell it, here, infer its properties. It's not, it is properties. Anyway, this kind of goes to show you, who really needs the AI, right? It's been a long day, though.
That's good. Okay, so putting together clues. It's interesting how it's describing how it's very happily telling you what it's doing as it's doing it, which is cool.
So this is kind of, the overall reasoning.
It really, I wonder how it compares to like DeepSeek's reasoning model.
Well, let's let's open DeepSeek here.
So this is O3 Mini. God, yeah, there's so many models that are always coming out. So stay updated. We try our best to cover the latest and greatest. So this is Sam O3 Mini, right?
It is, yeah. And I'm trying to
when you say high though, like do you I don't understand that. So like when you're saying high, so it's a high versus low model. Do they explain the difference?
So and we can, if we go back to our, can you see the different, is it switching tabs basically?
Yeah. I can see OpenAI. You're on the OpenAI ChatGPT now.
Okay, so selecting O3 high in the model picker. So it boils down to a higher intelligence version that takes a little longer to generate responses. So it's, the way I see it, it's kind of like an effort flag, or how long should this model spend reasoning? And they split it down into low, medium, and high. Reasoning effort is kind of how OpenAI describes it, right? Gotcha. So, how hard does it think? To be completely fair, I don't really know why they did that. I guess if there's a significant um, speed increase, I guess. Otherwise, let's scroll down to the speed. Um, what's kind of dumb is that they compare the latency of O1 mini to O3 mini medium, but they don't quite compare.
Hmm.
I mean, I'm really looking for the speed of each one, because now I see, well, why wouldn't I want the model that thinks the hardest, right? What's kind of the
Well,
benefit,
what if you
more or
get
less.
faster?
So,
Because it's costing more, right? Like if you're using an API account and you're a developer incorporating this into your app or something, or you need to do a lot of processing, like maybe the benefit is not worth the cost. I mean, I could imagine that kind of plays around into what a lot of this is about. The cost benefit analysis, right? So yeah, we're back on DeepSeek. So DeepSeek was asked the same question. I mean, it's really hard to compare these though. Like, I mean, it's explaining a lot of very similar,
yeah,
you
no, I
know,
mean, I mean,
and also, I mean, how do you even, this is, I don't want to say it's a subjective question, but it's like, I mean, how do you even grade such a, I mean, it's like,
well, the thing is, you
you
have to know the answer to this question too, which is just sort of like, I guess these things will
yeah,
confidently give you an answer.
yeah.
I don't know. It's just
I
like,
mean,
see, now it's like, oh, you have to think of a question the answer to that's hard. I'm like, God dang it, like my brain is not
yeah,
working like that right now.
yeah,
Um,
that's true. That's true.
let's see, maybe
I mean, also though, I feel like even with dark matter, like scientists, I mean, I feel like sometimes they have differing opinions even with that. So it's kind of like it's interesting because like yeah, how do you win when they're so different sometimes? Yeah, I don't know. It's fascinating. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot for sure like when you think I don't know, like written content to me is the most fascinating with this stuff. Like I know coding gets a big part of this where it's like let's get a good model that's, can do some coding. But I feel like what for most people like they want something that's relatable. They want something that if they're reading it is something that sounds natural, right? And so it's kind of like I'm more fascinated by the models that are going to potentially generate future television scripts, future play ideas, future like I mean, if you think about it, that's really creatively the process that great writers have always kind of come up with. And I'm not saying that AI is going to take over that, but going into the future,
well,
it's
you're not wrong. Especially with the fact that some written content, I mean, people preferred AI more so than the human writer. That's
oh
not
yeah.
so that's pretty so this is a little interesting.
Yeah.
So I asked a question, namely, what are the challenges producing 2 nanometer or smaller transistors, and what issues occur when the transistor size becomes the smaller. And I thought it was a little interesting because they really do they both mention quantum tunneling first, and then they also mention atomic scale variability second. It was basically like the electron level of the atom. So I think it's
Mhm.
funny how they match that order, manufacturing challenges. Okay, at least they like mixed it up for the second one. But I guess, I mean, obviously these are the two most important. But you can't beat physics. So, but I thought it was curious. They kind of really match in this at least the first answer, and hopefully the rapid tab switching isn't giving anybody a headache.
I know, like, hopefully people like the new format.
Yeah,
We're
I don't
trying
know. I
something
mean,
new.
this is the
Yeah.
first time. Oh, it's kind of cool to see it. Oh, I should break out my. Yeah, see, I can't pretend to be a streamer or you know. So this is all
Well, can we do
learning.
side by side? Sam,
Uh,
can you pull up like side by side both in the same window? I don't know how you're doing it, but
well,
I
let's
can
see
move the
here.
form.
So I have rectangle. So let me
Yeah.
just. Here's what I'll do. Um, at the. So we'll stop sharing. Um,
So yeah,
I'll share my
yeah.
screen, and I guess I can share my entire screen. Oh, I have to restart Chrome for that. It's a Mac.
Then just yeah, I would do what you were doing. It seemed like it was working.
It's just a Mac specific permissions issue. Um,
Well, because we
but
can we can analyze its response in terms of detail. Like I think that is important. Do you know what I mean? Like I think that is a very crucial. I mean, this seems pretty detailed. It's giving a lot of information, but it really like it. I mean, I know it just we are asking for an overview, and this you could deep, do a much deeper dive into every point raised here, but quantum mechanical effects, quantum tunneling at nanometer scales. Okay, great. Well, I mean, we didn't ask for more detail. I mean, so I think given the prompt, it's cool. I
well, it's
mean, I
also like
guess
it's difficult to judge again off of one question. I just kind of pulled this out of my ass. So it's just also
yeah.
like we need like a real. We just need a real question. I wasn't really prepared to benchmark these things.
Yeah, no, I think it's cool. Anyway, I mean, we were just gonna talk, about this because this came out. Was this today? Did this come out today?
It's been out for a few days.
A few days. Yeah.
January 31st, 2025. At least when the OpenAI made their announcement. So it's essentially again also kind of some killer features too. Um, you know, Basically it kind of takes a more agentic approach. So it kind of adds function calling among other. So that's kind of one of the features. Structured outputs, where I assume you have JSON or some other. Okay, yep, exactly. Ensure responses adhere to a JSON schema or schema. So it makes it a lot more programmatic. So I think in that case, it's something where it's like, and it even encourages essentially prompt engineering. So it's something where, this is kind of, at least from an AI standpoint, um, really is.
Well, they're refining every detail. I mean, because I do think the output is important, right? Like when you ask it for something, it needs to give the information presented in a way that, yeah, is formatted so you can understand it. And I think a lot of that does come down to like the output, like whether it's a coding question or whether it's, yeah, how can it do that chart? I mean, I think charts are really fascinating. I don't know if have you seen Napkin AI? It's like a
I have
chart
not.
maker. I just thought Napkin was a very interesting way to, yeah, create visuals. I mean, I've been using this on the AirPixels blog to turn data points that I've been researching, about drone stuff. I've been using Napkin to help make the graphics, and it's been really useful. But I mean, this is something where it takes the text, and then it again the output has to be uh, a chart or a graph, and it presents the information into a really nice format. But again, like this came to my mind because when
It really is
thinking
quite
of AI
dynamic.
output,
Um,
yeah, you want. Sorry, say that again.
no, it's quite dynamic, honestly. Um,
Oh yeah, this works really well.
I
Well, it's
mean,
very customized. Yeah, it's very customizable, and I mean it's a great tool but I mean again, I feel like the napkin, it's
I want to dox
there.
myself. But it's like I do
What,
want to
say
sign
again?
up for this. I mean, do you have a napkin account that you can? I mean,
I do.
it,
Yeah, I mean
it seems interesting. I don't know. I have to give it a shot and see. Apparently, it's
it's not
free.
really worth.
Uh,
Yeah, it's in beta right now. I think they'll have different paid I mean, look, the thing is, it's a great tool. It really is. But to get more customizability,
it's free during
I
beta.
think,
Look at that.
yeah. So I don't know how much it's going to cost, but I think, look, you can generate with AI. That's not the problem. I mean, even again, what we were just talking about, O3, Mini, ChatGPT, Claude, those models can do a lot of the similar things. But really, what they're still working on the editor because that's really important. The editing process when it kind of comes to, yeah, I mean, when it comes down to it, you so what? You generated a chart. Well, I want to change the coloring. I want to change the text. I want to have different options. So it really is a little bit more detailed, but I think it just kind of shows that how AI is thinking when you're taking a visual output, you're taking a text output, and yeah, you're really kind of trying to create some magic to bring everything together into one place. So yeah, Napkin AI is a pretty cool tool. I enjoy using it to make the AirPixels blog graphs and stuff and charts, and it's been a great way to do so. But anyway, should we start discussing the search engine and all the AI and finding things on the internet and how that's going to change in the future? Yes,
Sure.
Kagi.
Yeah. So we can search for Kagi on Google. As you see, there's no AI garbage on the Google thing because they're scared. But
That's ironic.
so what's Kagi? It's kind of a really just kind of a niche search engine that's privacy focused, has no ads, no tracking, just a deep and powerful search. So kind of bringing back the Google glory days
Mhm.
in a way.
Well, do
You know,
you have an account, Sam? Because I can
oh yeah,
show what
no,
it looks like.
absolutely. I think the side by sides though are pretty powerful though, right? Um,
Oh yeah.
and we can show. I
Oh,
mean,
true.
so
Well, it's
essentially,
just fair for people who aren't. Well, for people who aren't familiar with it, I mean, as you know, when now you search on Google, you see a lot of AI garbage, and I think
just
that
a bunch of junk.
it's
You know,
yeah, the search results. I mean, Kagi is not really doing anything revolutionary. They're just taking the advertising out of it. So, in addition to separating the AI from web results, Kagi says, look, when you want to use AI, yeah, we've got AI features. And again, Kagi aggregates a lot of it all together in one place. So, if you want, instead of paying for Anthropic's Claude 3.5, Sonnet, and Opus models, or again, ChatGPT, you can get the premium access through Kagi if you have the highest plan on their search engine,
so yeah,
which is
this
great
is,
because again, yeah,
let's see.
you
Oh,
you
I
can
do
really.
have to sign in on here, but it will be a cool way of demonstrating. You can sign in with your QR code
It's really
relatively
convenient. Yeah,
instantly. Ta-da! There you go.
great.
So yeah, you can sign in with the QR code relatively instantly. So what do you get? I mean, you get access to a fast and powerful search. One thing that I like searching for is like, if you're looking for PDFs, you can instantly Just bam, switch. And I found what I'm looking for, It's a PDF file, So with Google, it's like you'd have to type in some sort of extension. This one immediately gets, turns on, the PDF lens. And from there, you can also, search through forums. So, you can search, this is the Reddit, all sorts of forums. So if you're looking for perhaps a Q&A style, or if you're looking for programming resources, Stack Overflow or GitHub or Learn.Microsoft. So it's very much, in a way, it's kind of like, restricting the results by site on Google, but also giving you, kind of, I guess there's no news on Apple MDM, so that kind of makes sense. But yeah, you're able to, really, I don't know, like quickly and powerfully, look through a lot of content without any AI garbage.
Well, so they call those lenses. So yeah, they have different lenses, but I do think it's worth mentioning why it's paid, because people are like, well, Google's free, Bing is free.
Well, they actually so they have a I should sign out just so I can because they had a button explaining why pay for search, essentially.
Yeah.
Why pay for search? There you go.
So yeah, search engines are not free. Yeah, you are paying with your attention, right? Or you subscribe. So yeah, there's no upfront costs, but we'll store your data, and they'll push paid ads to the top. They'll bombard you with ads, and you still won't get what you want.
I mean, basically, just think about how garbage Google is and how much it would just be worth to have results that you actually need at the top of your search every time you searched it, instead of having to dig around. It's like paying yourself to get some time back. I mean, that's the way I see it. It is, again, it's not inexpensive. So Google makes almost $300 off of you every month. So, or sorry, every year, $23 a month. Basically just on really just selling your data.
That's
so
crazy.
Here you go. I mean, sponsored. And then, wow, exactly what you want. The PostgreSQL documentation. Perfect. Documentation.
Before you got there, you had to skip 5 ads. Yeah, exactly.
From the creator of the tool that you're looking for. So it's just a better AI, so again, you can have a subscription, or pay yearly, if you want 10% off. Again, I mean, it's relatively affordable. For $5 a month, you get 300 searches. $10 a month, you get unlimited searches.
So they have interesting news as we talk about. So they were featured in Fast Company today, which is, a fairly large
I saw that. They're kind of getting some mainstream attention.
But and it's interesting because Kagi, if we go back to if you log in and click the updates, so you'll see they just today say that they're announcing fair pricing, which basically means, that if you don't use all your searches on your plan, that they will automatically apply a full credit to your account. So in months where you don't utilize any searches, so I guess if you skip a month, if you have a plan and you skip a month or two, they will credit your account, because it's not fair to take money when you're not using the service. So
can you imagine Netflix did that? Isn't that amazing?
Yeah. So yeah. You subscribed for 2 months, but one of the months you didn't watch anything, so we're gonna credit your account. So anyway, another win for Kagi here, and they say the change is effective immediately, and there's no form to fill in.
Well, look at that. They even mentioned that article we were talking about.
Yeah.
So it's it's kind of a scrappy startup, but honestly, it's like if you want to fight, the David and Goliath of the tech companies, it does go a long way, supporting, if you believe in data privacy, put your subscription money to work. Try Kagi, costs $5. If you don't like it, you can cancel it. And search for what you would normally search for. I mean, I love it because not only do you have Kagi Assistant, so you can run all sorts of, I mean,
really quick, tell people just if they don't know how to spell it, it's KAGI.com, Kagi.com. And also, we should mention the browser. I'm not as familiar with it. I did pay for it. It is free, or you can pay if you want to support them and help them develop new features. But they have a privacy-focused browser called Orion. And again, it just kind of complements the search engine. And it also, of course, has Kagi as this default search engine. And, it's like if you like Safari, I'm coming from Safari. I do tab over to Orion sometimes. And I really like the experience so far. It's definitely better than Chrome, and very similar to Safari, and has great performance. So also should be worth noting that they also have a browser.
Yeah, it's quite interesting. I'll have to try it. I'm on Chrome now, just because it's the sad reality of the internet is that websites, including this one, Streamlabs, is optimized for Chrome, and they don't really, care enough to test out Firefox or Opera or any other. So I'm curious what web engine it uses.
I think it's most similar to Safari from what I remember when I was reading about it. It's not a Chromium-based browser. It's one of the other ones. It's not like Firefox either. So it's WebGL. I think that's Safari, right? Maybe I'm wrong. I might be saying that wrong.
I believe so. Let's see.
Yeah, it's very similar to Safari, and it's cool. I mean, look, I think it's worth noting how much of your data Chrome, the browser, also takes from you. I mean, I think they had a lawsuit recently. Google was accused because, yeah, so many people use Chrome and they're taking your data, even when you're in incognito mode. And so if you don't want your data tracked and saved and things, it's like Google is misleading you into thinking that that you can use Chrome. I mean, so anyway, it's worth educating yourself. Also, by the way, Brave is another browser that's worth
there you go.
noting.
WebKit.
A WebKit engine. Yeah, the same technology powering Safari's browser. Sam, are you familiar with Brave, the browser Brave?
I am. I've heard of it. I don't really.
Yeah.
Man, uBlock Origin comes installed. Oh man, I may have to.
Is that good?
No, that's
what are your
that's a must-have.
What page are you on here?
uBlock. So this is Kagi.com/Orion.
Interesting. Okay.
So this is kind of their landing page. So and then this is Orion Plus if you are so inclined.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think it's worth paying for. Look, if you want to support them, I think even just paying for Kagi is really great. But you can pay $150 once, and I recommend that. Never have to think about it again. But look, I think it's Chrome again. They're stealing your data and they're profiting off of you, and I think it's just time people slowly wake up. But also, one thing I would like to mention, though. A lot of people don't care about that stuff, which is crazy to me. Including, I don't know. Yeah, people just want things to be simple. I don't know. And they just, I don't think, want to put too much thought into it. Oh, who cares? Whatever. Chrome has my data. But it's like, it really shouldn't be like that. Like, your online privacy should not be profiting off of your every move. And selling all your data to advertisers about what you do on your devices. So
why is it That's not harmful, but
Oh, and so this is the Kagi assistant. So this is look, see, they have DeepSeek R1 built into Kagi, so you don't have to. Well, I guess DeepSeek is kind of free, right? Um, but again, Anthropic and OpenAI don't have free models, so you can get those included with your Kagi Ultimate subscription, which is the highest. I think it's $25 a month, right? And if you pay annually, it's $270 for the year.
that is right. Yeah, it's definitely not cheap. But if I'm being perfectly honest, as a singular tool, um, you know, your search is your portal to the internet. And honestly, you know, $270 to significantly upgrade your portal for the year is like, you have a whole new portal gun. I mean, this thing is like, again, like you're a superstar. I mean, it's just like, because you can find, half of using the internet is finding the information you need. And honestly, it makes you a rock star among friends at work. I mean, like, because you can find what people are looking for because they're all using Google. It's like you have your own little superpower, in a sense, because everyone uses Google and complains it sucks and they don't do anything about it. So it's just like, use something different. I mean, seriously.
Yeah. Well, yeah, people have the power to. I just think a lot of people don't know about these other alternatives.
But also,
I
yeah, I
think
mean, it's something that's new, and I don't know if Google's going to recommend it.
yeah.
But
Well,
yeah, there's
not.
more stuff too. I hardly ever use it, to be honest. Sorry, Kagi. They have their own translate application. I don't translate too much.
Small web. Yeah, I don't understand
Um,
this, but they've got a bunch of features that are pretty neat. So
there's small web. That's kind of interesting.
yeah,
Here you
I've
go.
never really understood. I've never really understood that, but they've got a little description. So the internet, like an internet cafe, maybe kind of.
Hmm.
Could we describe it?
So it's kind of like a weekly. Let's see. So we only show posts from last 7 days to keep it fresh.
Yeah.
Well, this is kind of a cool concept. I don't know. Like some guy writes about
Yeah.
the 80s. I don't know. Hopefully, I'm not getting any. All
No, I
right.
mean, I
So
think
we get some.
to summarize, Sam, just it's worth exploring
Know where you're gonna find on
options.
the small internet.
Sam, I think we should do really quick. I know a lot of people think DuckDuckGo is a good alternative. Why should we think about a search engine like Kagi when DuckDuckGo is also
Well,
free
let's.
and pretty, right? Like, I think it's just how the experience looks. Like, I think it's to find information. Why is DuckDuckGo not as good as Kagi? I mean, Kagi's a clean experience, you know? So I think that's a big thing. Do you know what I mean?
Well, one thing that is curious is DuckDuckGo is free to use. So naturally, there is going to be that incentive of. I don't necessarily know how they generate revenue. I'm sure they may sell ads that don't have tracking, or even like what their track record is. Honestly, a lot of this stuff depends on the you know kind of overall, really just like how can you trust what they're saying. And honestly, with Kagi, it's like, if you're a startup, quite frankly, I mean, like, you do have a lot to lose. Again, it's tough to really say, like,
See, personally, myself, I never liked DuckDuckGo. I've tried it. I just never really it to the layout to me, the design, and also like I come from Google. I mean, I think a lot of people come from Google, and I feel like I'm not just saying this
Oh,
because I
well,
also
here we go.
yeah,
Here you go. I
Kagi
mean,
versus.
they have a little blurb on it.
Let's see what's their perspective. Let's see what is their perspective.
Well, it seems like they do have. So I guess DuckDuckGo is just more traditional, right? It's kind of the old guard. Kagi's kind of taken a. I mean, and they are rapidly iterating. They have the features like lenses and personalized results, which I guess is like, how did they hovering over the shield, kind of gives you. So by personalized results, what they mean by that is you can customize your own results instead of Kagi. So
Yeah.
you can block, lower, give a rating of normal, or make it higher, or pin it. So if so this is how you can customize your results, right? It's taking your preferences directly instead of consuming the entirety of your online presence and showing you what you could possibly want to buy.
Yeah. Well, I think it just allows you to customize your search. Yeah, preferences is a good way to say that. If you don't want to see any Quora or Reddit results, well, maybe you can turn off, I don't want to prioritize Reddit, even if it has, because think about it. If you don't want any forums, if you want to prioritize, academic research and mainstream publications in your search results, you can do that, which I think is a good option for people to have. So, yeah. So, and I guess, yeah, it just seems like stagnant development is what Kagi says is the problem with DuckDuckGo. I would say maybe it has something to do with the web crawlers, but like you want to find the information you're looking for quickly. And I feel like, to me, from my experience with both, I have found it easier to find what I'm looking for on Kagi, and I like how it's presented. I think it's a clean interface. I think it's very similar to, I don't want to say to Google, but I think we're
Well,
used to
it's what
searching on
Google should be, to be
should
honest.
be. Yeah.
I mean, again, you get all these powerful tools. You can search verbatim or based on your personalized tweaks. You can put in a custom date range. You can order by essentially recency, so you can find the newest stuff first. You can search by a specific region. I mean, I don't know, like say I'm in Germany. I want to build a PC. I don't know. I don't know what would change about. I guess this is a German, or here's a German site, DE, Deutschland. So it's like, there you go. I mean, you have your German. Check out these German
Yeah.
guys, man. They're building PC hardware. I mean, so it's like it's cool because you can really just. I mean, go anywhere. I don't know, but whereas you go to Google.
Yeah, let's side by side. What's up? Let's get it.
So you have to click custom range. It brings up this ugly date picker. The thing is, like, they don't care. They don't care about you putting in a custom range.
Well, they don't want you to use
They
the
give you this
feature
tweet.
well, but isn't it because of advertising? Like, how are advertisers going to bid on past results? They don't want it. They don't want to make it a good experience for you, right?
Well, yeah, and it's like, okay, advanced search. Now, obviously, like, I feel bad too because there's so much of Google that more or less people aren't using. But I would argue that the algorithmic tweaks have superseded any sort of like Google foo that you can do. Not that
Yeah.
I know how to do it, but also like, considering, Google has been essentially compromised by, and honestly, some of the stuff like, Kagi, from location, and they have a lot of the same stuff too. If you want to use your quotations, It's funny too because I think they actually copied. So rat terrier. If we go to Google and just whoops, and it's so unintuitive because they really just like advanced search. You can see they literally just copy and pasted the Google descriptions for put it in quotes, rat terrier, and then you go to Kagi. Put exact quotes, rat terrier. It's just funny because it's like they just ripped off, because it's not copyrighted as a sentence, but I think
they're
coming for Google's lunch,
They're following what's working, what people are already familiar with. I mean, and most people probably are coming from Google and are most familiar, or Bing even. But I think both just so cluttered with ads. And it's worth checking it out. And shout out to the Fast Company article that made me think about
for really spreading some love. I mean, this is a big
yeah.
This is a big deal,
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Well, we'll always have the tech news. This has been a great episode. As always, we're here every Tuesday, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern time. And new format. We're not usually on video. We've always been here doing the show, but now we're
figured we'd give it a shot,
We're real people. We're not AI voices, so don't worry. Not yet.
Hey, don't tempt people,
It's already happening. It's crazy. Like there's Google LM. Gosh, we should go over that in a future tech talk. But anyway, well, thanks everybody for joining in.
Anyway, but
and sign up for our newsletter on our website techtalklive.xyz. And we're back every Tuesday, same time, same place. Follow us on X, DM us your questions, and join the conversation every Tuesday. So signing off until next week.
Peace and talk more tech soon.